Hello, and welcome to another installment of CVTV. I'm Tony Jones, Managing Editor of Channel Vision Magazine. Today I'm speaking with Jim Hintze, Chief Revenue Officer at Logix Fiber Networks. Logix will be exhibiting at Booth 211 at the Incompas Show in Tampa, Florida, November 2nd through the 4th. Hi, Jim. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, good afternoon, Tony. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you here. So to start things off, tell us a little about Logix Fiber Networks and what sets it apart.
Well, thanks. So Logix has been a telecom provider in the Texas market for just over 40 years now. Last year, we celebrated our 40th anniversary, and the company got its start as a competitive local exchange carrier, really selling other carriers' voice services. And then over the last few decades have grown to build about 300,000 fiber miles of network, making us one of the largest fiber providers throughout Texas.
And so I understand too that Logix recently upgraded its network capacity to 400G at two data centers in the Dallas metro area. Tell us about the strategic significance of that deal.
Sure. So before I get into the locations, one of the primary focuses for Logix over the last decade or so is connecting to nearly 100 third-party data centers throughout Texas. And so that's enabled us to allow carriers, enterprise, and now hyperscalers to interconnect throughout from the border of Mexico up through various metro areas in Texas to the data centers. And so the natural evolution with providers like data center providers like DataBank is to keep up with the emerging bandwidth growth. So we picked DataBank. They've been a great partner of ours for years to upgrade our Dallas market first. And they've got a facility in Plano along with downtown Dallas, and along the same fiber ring that we're upgrading them to 400 gig. We also have 6 other data center providers that'll also benefit from that. So as we know, AI-driven traffic is still in its early stages. So we're going to find that as customers make that transition, their demands will continue to grow. And we wanted to get an early start on that by partnering with DataBank in Plano as they've added to their campus there, and they'll be bringing on new customers. And those clients of theirs want to get down to the downtown Dallas pop. So this 400 gig ring will allow us to provide diverse connectivity from Plano through Richardson and down into Dallas to serve their current and future needs.
Excellent. And I also understand that Logix has added to its leadership team this year, as well as completed a series of recapitalization transactions. How have those moves impacted the company?
Well, they've been fantastic. So we brought on UBS. O'Connor is our new private equity sponsor. And in addition to that, they appointed Greg O'Connor, our new chief executive officer, who's had many years of experience at T-Mobile and other large companies in scaling fiber networks. So the combination of that and other leaders that he's brought on the team allow us to deploy brand new capital that we're bringing into the business, not only to extend our building reach from the 3,000 or so tall buildings that we have throughout our Texas markets, but we're also expanding into some of the new hyperscale data centers in and around the Dallas, Austin, and Houston markets, and then provide more wave and dark fiber for customers that want to have access to that in the metro areas.
Great. And how's Logix supporting 5G and edge deployment?
So less from a tower standpoint. There's a lot of competition of existing fiber providers that can reach the tens of thousands of cell sites that are out there. We provide the critical aggregation of these cell towers from carriers back to the wireless mobile switching offices. So we're deploying 400 gig right now to meet the growing needs as the cell capacity or the capacity at all the cell towers continues to grow. We can then bring back the larger transport in the core rings back to our wireless carrier metro switching offices. At the same time, 5G is certainly densifying around the metro areas, and it's now taking advantage of the 3,000 buildings that I mentioned to you are fantastic assets for us to put either small cells or mini macro sites on top of those to provide greater 5 gig coverage both from a wireless standpoint as well as fixed wireless access, which has become so prevalent these days. It allows us to be able to serve a lot larger number of customers in these metropolitan areas using existing fiber assets to these buildings and the rooftops that allow the wireless carriers to deploy on top of them.
It's great. And what's next for the company as demand accelerates?
Well, more of the same, I'd say, is we're just getting started now. We completed our recap in April, and we've been executing on our growth plan, a 3-year plan. Number one, to add data center capacity. I'd say the biggest new thing for us is that Logix owns and operates 6 of our own data centers in Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, and Austin. And so we're going to continue to expand the capacity there, but serve really the enterprise and the retail customers that just need a half rack or a single rack, and they're trying to take advantage of cloud-based applications, disaster recovery, business continuity services. And there's not a lot of capacity out there right now with the consumption of the hyperscalers and others that have really reoriented their business towards the AI-based GPUs. We're serving a segment of the market that we believe fits us well in the mid-market to enterprise with our colocation. And then from there, we'll continue to extend our network in adjacent markets within Texas to serve these hyperscaler data center campuses with both dark fiber and wave services. So there's a lot on our plate going ahead, but between extending our reach to new buildings, which, as Texas being the equivalent of the 8th largest GDP in the world, and continuing to grow, we find that our focused presence in this market continues to serve us well with our company that's has all of our employees locally in the market as well.
Terrific. And besides stopping by booth 211 at Incompas, where can folks go to learn more about Logix?
Well, they can please visit us at www.logix.com, where they can check check our serviceability in the area and get access to more information on our wholesale, our retail, and our channel-based products.
That's excellent. Jim, thanks again for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, Tony.
And thank you to our audience for watching. Have a great Incompas show. We'll see you next time here on CVTV.